Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Cheap Air's Off-Grid Ways, a homestead in the desert. And yeah, the sun is getting ready to do its thing and move around to the other side of the planet, sorry. And I did a job on my 2x6s here from those pallets I took apart. What I did find out was there's two different sizes of these 2x6s. There's 39-inch and there's 40-inch. And I found that out the hard way. But these are all 39s here now. And these are all 40s over here. What's left of the 40s. Because I used some of them today. And what did I use them on? Well, we'll just mosey on down and I'll show you. Because it's time to get things done around here. And in between my metal detecting and prospecting runs, I've got other things I've got to do around here to get ready for the next year that's coming through. So I've got my list of things to do, and I've been walking around. Well, because it's been so cold, sometimes I just stand inside and look out the windows, and I think to myself, well, you know, I could do that, and I could put something there, and I could do this. And then I jot those down, and I say, okay, let's keep them on the list. So as we're walking over this way, you might notice that there's something different. And yeah, the gray water pit's covered. That's where all of those 2x6s went. Well, it's not completely done yet, because these 5 right here in the center, those are still loose, because that's going to be a hatch for me to get down to the gray water filter that's down there that traps anything that gets down the drain and keep it from trashing the area. So anyway, I had to dig out the area and get the 4x4s down and leveled, and got this whole thing into place. I got one of the 2x6s right there that's a little on the twisted side, but I'll put a couple of screws in it and anchor it down. Most of this I did with nails, and I haven't swung a hammer for that many nails in a long time. And I do have an air-powered, or I have a bunch of air-powered nail guns, but the last time I used my Senko gun, blew a seal out because it was dried out here in the desert, and I need to order a seal kit for it. But I do have a couple of the split head nailers that came from Harbor Freight years ago, and the problem is I can't find the nails for them anymore. so what can I say? I got the nailers, but I don't have any way to get the nails. So someday I'll worry about whether I need to get nails or not. So anyway, what I was looking at here was this area right here. I've got to leave so that I can open up that hatch, and I'll be putting 2 stringers underneath there to hold the hatch together, and then drilling an angled hole through the second, or yeah, probably the second board, so that I can stick a piece of rebar in there and then lift the hatch up when I need to get in there. So it's not very often I have to, maybe once a year, but I still do have to get in there, so I wanted to make sure that I was able to do that. Then I got to thinking, well, I got this other big area right here that's 80 inches by 6 feet. So what would I do with that? And I got to thinking, well, why don't I build a shed over here on top of this? This will be the floor of the shed, and I'll still be able to get this hatch opened, but with a floor of the shed here and building a shed up, then I can use that for my garden shed to get all of that stuff that's inside the greenhouse right there, my fertilizers and things like that, get all of that out of there and moved into the shed. And then that little old refrigerator I have that blew up on me for not using a clear sine wave, I can pull that out of there also, because I just use that for storing seed packets. So the critters can't get to the seeds, and the seeds don't get too hot or too cold because they're inside of that refrigerator, which is insulated. So I can put all that stuff in this new shed. Now this tote is just here because I had to get it out of the way when I was getting my water delivery, because this one is really dirty and it's got a lot of metal shavings in it, and I didn't want to put water in it. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this thing yet, but I'll come up with a use for it for something. And in the meantime, this is a good place to hide it. And then down there on the bottom of the pit, I'm going to put some more 2x6s going downward to close off the end. And I thought, just for fun, I'll paint like 4 or 5 of the pieces that go down black on the center of this thing, and I'll put a little hand painted sign on there, says mine entrance, keep out. I think that'd be pretty cool. But anyway, yeah, if I have a little shed right here, I can move all that stuff into this shed, and then I'll have more room in my greenhouse. And then originally I was going to extend my Garden of Eden all the way out some more, double the length of it. And I got to thinking, well, why would I do that? I got this whole area right here, and I have the winds that come from that direction in the heavy wind times, and those are the most damaging winds when they come from that direction. So they damage my greenhouse every time that happens. That's why I've got those white panels up there and the bag up there covering one of the vents, which I'll repair this spring. But in the meantime, I'm thinking, well, if I come off this corner and come out to the edge of the greenhouse and then go in, I've got a really big area right here, and I could turn all of this into my garden area. I could do 2 big raised garden boxes in there and really get some stuff planted. Of course, it'll be a little bit of an expense, but I could do it a little at a time. I get one section going for 1 year and then another section going for another year, so forth and so on. So these 2 pallets here, the one-sided pallets, I'd put here because I want to build a support to hold my water tanks. And I want those to be a water wall. Well, to be a good water wall, they should be on a clear building. I would put them on the north side of the building because that's where I want to get most of the heat to store up for the nighttime. But on this one over here, I could put the 1, 2, 3, and 4 right along this wall, and that would give me a water wall on the wind side, which would also be a windbreak for the heavy wind times. And this whole building right here would also help break the wind, so my greenhouse doesn't take a beating every year when the winds come up. So once I get all of that done, I can take that door off of there and move it around to this back side going into this new section. So those 4x4s I got from my friend Don are going to start going up over here as posts, because this is already pretty graded already. I had graded all of this when I had my ATV with the bucket last time. So these things will all move. I'll use up the water in them, and then I'll get them moved. And then I'll build some leg supports for these 2 and cut it down to the size I need to go the whole length of this wall, so I can stack 5 IBC totes along this side of the wall here up off the ground, so I can still have area underneath there for storage of whatever I want to store under there, like bags of compost and things like that. So that was my idea. I'm thinking that's going to be a pretty good thing to do. So on these in between days of not metal detecting and prospecting, I'm going to get these 4x4s up over here. Now those 4x4s on this unit are store-bought 8-footers. So I think what I'm going to do is, since these other ones are a little bit taller, I'm going to leave them taller, and I'm going to put the taller section in here so that I can still put some more fruit trees in this side and get those fruit trees growing, and they'll have a little extra height. Now, I buy the dwarf or the semi-dwarf fruit trees when I do buy them, and then I keep them pruned back so that they will be able to grow inside of a shortened area. So I am really tired. Like I said, I swung that hammer really hard today. So I'm going to call it a day. Go inside. It's starting to get cold again. It was 24 degrees when I got up this morning outside. But my nice propane heater in the cabin had kept the cabin at 70 all night. So I slept well, got up early, had some breakfast and some hot coffee. And then I had to wait until about 10 o'clock, 10:30 this morning before it even got up to 50 degrees before I went outside, because it was really, really cold out here. And the winds are just starting to pick up again right now, so call it a day. Thanks for joining me, everybody. I really appreciate you all. This is G Bear reminding you, thumbs up down there, subscribe down there, and share and save, and all the way at the bottom. That's where your comments go. Comments, questions, requests for what you would like to see next in one of my videos, whatever. I'd be glad to help out if somebody needs to know some more about wind or solar. I've gone over those a few times, but if you have a specific question that you're not clear on, ask it. I'll be glad to help you out. This is G Bear signing off.